Beware the Creeper is interesting. There are a lot of fans of this character out there, including TNBA's production team, and the idea was to incorporate him into the show as a brighter contrast to Gotham's darkness. Creeper is certainly a colorful presence that theoretically could be used as an ideal foil for Batman, but did Beware the Creeper do a good enough job of establishing him and his mission statement within the DCAU? Anchorman Jack Ryder is doing a live expose on the Joker at the place of his origin, Ace Chemicals, for the villain's 7th anniversary of his first appearance in Gotham. Watching at home is Bruce Wayne, who spots the Clown Prince of Crime hanging out in the rafters of the chemical plant. Batman and Robin spring into action, rushing to Ace while Joker spoils the broadcast with his laughing gas and attacks Ryder. He tosses the Anchorman into the same vat of chemicals that morphed Joker into the madman he became. The dynamic duo show up at the scene and do battle with the J-Man and his thugs until Robin is knocked into a set of levers. This triggers a flush of the chemicals into a surrounding body of water. Told by Joker that Ryder was in the emptied vat, the Caped Crusader and Boy Wonder dash outside, spotting the Anchorman's burning jacket and assuming he's bit the dust. However, Ryder survived. The mix of his extended time in the chemical vat and exposure to Joker's laughing gas has transformed him into a yellow-skinned, green-haired, cackling mutant with enhanced strength, agility, and more. His mind partially broken, Ryder finds a new wardrobe and starts to go by the name The Creeper. He's out for revenge on the Joker, and while on that path, runs into Harley Quinn, who he's now uncontrollably attracted to. Batman and Robin rejoin the Joker's pursuit, leading to some very unique interactions among the parties involved. So, before doing my research, I was really only familiar with the Creeper from this episode. I knew a bit about his comic background, he just wasn't a character that ever interested me too much. I recall he pops up in Justice League Unlimited a few times, although I don't think he speaks. The Creeper was created by Spider-Man co-creator Steve Ditko with dialogue assistance from Don Siegel in 1968. They have a fun Easter egg dedicated to Ditko with a clothing store named after him here, and another creation of his, The Question, making an appearance as a mannequin. Creeper has had many reinterpretations since his debut with multiple widely varying origin stories. How they show his beginnings in this series was the best part of the episode for me. Setting up Jack Ryder in multiple installments before this was smart. I loved the live report angle at the top of the story, showing old pictures of Joker, including allusions to his past from Mask of the Phantasm, and the recreation of his fateful night with Batman that led to the legendary criminal's creation. I was so glad to see that they stepped back on the Jack Napier thing too. He's been called that name in previous BTAS episodes, but they mention here that was one of many aliases he used, and the Joker's true identity remains unknown. Excellent choice. Like a lot of fans, I like it best when we don't know who he was before his turn to clowned crime. There are exceptions to that rule, but it should be the standard. I say all this because Joker's origin ties directly into Creeper's. There is the added element of the laughing gas, and I think Ryder was submerged in the chemicals longer than Joker. He did keep getting pushed back in and even blown up at one point, but this is a story of someone going through a very similar traumatic event and reacting to it differently. I thought that was a smart way to go on Rich Fogel and Steve Gerber's part. Fogel conceptualized the story with Gerber penning his final script in the production order. This was also Dan Reba's last directing assignment for TNBA. Don't get me wrong, Creeper's nuts, but there is a sense of morality that has stayed intact. He pays for his new duds at the clothing store and isn't shown trying to intentionally hurt anybody outside of Joker. I guess he does go after Harley pretty aggressively though.
I'm stealing your girl too.
I swear, Mr. J, I didn't encourage it.
Speaking of Harley, she has another presentation for Mr. J here.
Wanna try some of my pie?
Harley.
I'm sure you'll want seconds.
This and Mad Love pushed the envelope a bit, didn't they? Anyway, Creeper was supposed to be involved in the show as far back as the animated series. Bruce Timm made a character model for him, but they couldn't crack the right story to bring him in with. In the Batman animated book, Creeper has his own bio, with Paul Dini weighing in on the character's involvement in the show. Quote, "We originally wanted to do the team-up in our first run on Fox, and though several talented writers tried their best, the character never seemed to work from a script stage. A few years later, the writers and producers spent some time rethinking the Creeper's origin, devising a closer link to the series by making the Joker responsible for Jack Ryder's transformation. That gave us the spark we needed to bring the Creeper to life." End quote. When it comes to the new Batman adventures, Creeper was planned to be much more involved. He's featured in early promotional art for the show, and apparently, they wanted him as a regular presence, working with the Bat family on multiple occasions. That didn't happen either, as they only figured out a story for him by the second-to-last episode produced.
They call me Yellow-Skinned Wacky Man, but I prefer the Creeper.
I'm Jack Ryder. Join me as we answer these questions and more on Joker, the madness behind the laughter.
Jeff Bennett voiced Jack Ryder and the Creeper. He has a great serious newsman voice and a great crazy laugh. He'd use the latter even more when he played the Joker in Batman the Brave and the Bold. Bennett has a few other DCAU credits in addition to this, including Hardak from Heart of Steel and his Silicon Soul. Before we break down the end of the story, it's worth mentioning that this was the last regular appearance of Tim Drake's Robin. He was in Mystery of the Batwoman and a few episodes of Static Shock, and of course Return of the Joker, but Beware the Creeper was the last time we saw him on a consistent basis. I liked Tim way more on this last rewatch than I did seeing him back in the day. I never disliked him, but his fate in the Batman Beyond movie always overshadowed any previous character work done in this series. I can say now that I fully appreciate this version of Drake and really wish we got to see him grow up and develop. I think his relationship with Bruce would have been fascinating to watch if he stuck around until he was a young adult. Seemingly just as concerned with nabbing Harley for himself as taking revenge on Joker, the Creeper finally confronts the pair, leading to a high-speed vehicle chase that Batman and Robin tag along on. They end up at Ace Chemical's waste disposal site where Creeper manhandles Joker, to the point where the bleeding clown pleads with Batman.
He's a lunatic!
While forcibly putting the moves on Quinn, Creeper is injected with a tranquilizer and passes out. Later, we see that the Dark Knight has given Jack Ryder a patch that acts as an antidote for the Joker venom. Acknowledging it's a temporary fix, Batman says it'll have to do until more anti-venom is made. He also mentions that Ryder's career is salvageable, since no one else knows he was the Creeper. As long as he keeps the patch on, everything should go back to normal. The dynamic duo leave as a smile returns to Ryder's face. After that scene, it's probably a given that if we got another season of the new Batman adventures, Creeper would have gotten a lot more screen time. But I have to judge on what we actually got, and this episode is it. So, I'll admit, I'm not a huge fan. I loved about the first 6 minutes, but things just took a dive after that. He is an intriguing character, and I'm sure if he was around more, I may very well have taken a stronger liking to him. I got the Mask vibes at the end, and that could have made for some very entertaining future appearances. It's too bad. While Beware the Creeper didn't land for me like I was hoping, I did enjoy a few choice elements within it. Besides the first act, I love a good Three Stooges homage.
Let me at him! Let me at him!
We don't know nothing about no Joker, creep.
His girlfriend's throwing him a party. Invitation only.
Mo, Lair, and Kerr are all voiced by Billy West. No surprise to anyone who knows his work. Again, I'm a huge fan of the Stooges and really appreciated this. Movember? January? Shemptember? Curly? Maybe if I cloned myself.
It's been done.
Oh yes, Adam West Batman mask. That was pretty funny. Overall, this episode wasn't my thing, and I can't recommend it personally. However, if you're looking for a big swing on something different, it may be worth your time. If you're a Creeper fan, I'm just going to assume you've already seen this. Next time, folks, it's a big one. Our grand finale. We wrap up our coverage of the new Batman adventures with the installment Judgment Day. See you then for Batmay's End.